May 22nd, Jorge Luis Sanchez, 39, was the intended target of the gunman that murdered him and four other men at 7:55 p.m. on Sunday in the Villa Esperanza residential complex in San Juan. The police identified the other four victims of the massacre as Alexis Rafael Peralta, 33 years old, Aniel Morales Perez, 34 years old, Jonathan Burgos Marrero, 40 years old, and Javier Oliver Orgos, 48 years old. According to the investigation, the men were in front of Building 10 when several individuals arrived in two vehicles and started shooting. In total, 5 men died. The preliminary investigation indicates the intended victim failed to pay drug dealers for several kilos of an illegal substance. Monday, May 23rd, after a weekend of 10 murders, including the massacre, the governor defended the police plan to combat drug and gang violence. Pedro Pierluisi said that among the strategies of the police force is the preventative patrols and community operations. In the midst of the drug war in Caguas and San Juan, Governor Pedro Pierluisi stated, "We continue to fight them." Sunday was a violent day in Puerto Rico, with 2 other murders reported just an hour apart. 2 men were killed in different towns on Sunday afternoon, police said. May 21st, a shooting leaves a woman dead and a man injured in Torres, a subdivision of San Juan, Puerto Rico. The murder took place on Friday on Carolina Street intersection with Barbosa Avenue in Torres. According to the preliminary reports, a call to the 911 emergency system alerted the authorities about a person with a gunshot wound in the area. Once there, the agents found a woman, later identified as Selennie Roman Cruz, 26, in a gray Nissan Versa vehicle, shot to death. The captain of San Juan's Criminal Investigation Center, Luis Diaz, reported that the injured man was identified as Fernando Castro Gonzalaz, 35, who received 2 bullet wounds in the back. Castro Gonzalez was transported to the medical center in Rio Piedras. His health condition is currently unknown. The captain also remarked on the injured man's criminal history of narcotic sales and larceny. May 19th, the police reported this Thursday afternoon that the number of mercenaries of the criminal gang of Nelson Torres Delgado, alias El Burro, arrested since the preemptive and disruptive measures were undertaken in Caguas, Puerto Rico, has increased to 14 after multiple shootings last weekend. Police have occupied the gang and drug-infested neighborhoods of Caguas since the murder of Margarita Rodriguez Morales, 74, a retired school teacher caught in the crossfire of a drive-by shooting and killed while sitting in her car. Fugitive Nelson Torres Delgado is wanted for several crimes, including the massacre at Cedra, another mass shooting that occurred in December of 2021 that claimed the lives of 5 men. Torres Delgado allegedly ordered the murders. May 19th, a federal grand jury indicted Cabo Rojo Fire Chief Pedro Rafael Rodriguez Garnier, 54, on charges of transporting and harboring undocumented immigrants. According to the investigation, on August 1, 2019, during the early morning hours, Rodriguez Garnier ran into several undocumented immigrants who had arrived clandestinely in Puerto Rico. Authorities with Immigration and Customs Enforcement stated the activity has allegedly been going on for over 3 years. The crime for which he is accused, carries a sentence of no less than 10 years. ICE defines human trafficking as the exploitation of people, while human smuggling focuses on the illegal transportation of people. A triple murder was reported Tuesday night in Juncos, Puerto Rico. The events occurred around 9:10 p.m. on the PR 185 highway in the garage in the Villa Graciela neighborhood. At the moment, the fatalities have not been identified by the authorities. They did report a call alerted them to gunshots in the area. When the police arrived, they found 3 people dead. May 21st. The Bayamon prosecutor's office filed charges Friday of first-degree murder and violation of the arms law against a woman who allegedly shot her son-in-law to death. Donna Lee Peska Santiago, the woman who shot her son-in-law to death in a tattoo shop in Bayamon, Puerto Rico, acted in self-defense, said her lawyer, Rosa Vasquez. Donna Lee Peska Santiago, 54, shot and killed Omar Nieves Rivera, 41, in self-defense, the woman told police, after an argument broke out between her daughter and her son-in-law. Bayamon Criminal Investigation Corps agent Richard Hadcock explained the investigation revealed that it was, quote, not self-defense. If she hadn't acted the way she did, we would mourn the death of 2 women, her lawyer stated. Ms. Peska Santiago shot her son-in-law 8 times after allegedly seeing him attack her daughter on February 26 of this year. May 24th. Music producer and promoter Raphy Pina Nieves, aka Raphy Pina, a twice federal convict, was sentenced Tuesday to 3 years and 5 months in prison for the illegal possession of firearms seized on his property in Caguas, Puerto Rico. The sentence was handed down by federal judge Francisco Bezosa after the artist, producer, and owner of record label Pina Records was found guilty on December 22, 2021. Pina Records is a Puerto Rican record label, most famous and successful in the reggaeton music industry due to its artists Daddy Yankee, RKM and Ken Y, Natty Natasha, and Plan B. Pina was in possession of many guns, including a machine gun modified to shoot multiple rounds. Raphy Pina had previously pled guilty to bank fraud several years ago. Take care of my family, Pina said to the media. May 23rd. Federal prosecutors have charged Fermin Montalla, the captain of the boat that capsized off Desecheo Island, killing 11 women, with homicide with the eligibility for the death penalty. Another 30 people are presumed dead after not having been found alive during the rescue and salvage operations. 2 witnesses of Haitian nationality identified Montalla as the captain of the boat that was carrying between 62 and 72 people. Witnesses told agents they paid Montalla $2,000 and $5,000 for the trip. Montalla had previous convictions for immigration smuggling. Eric A. Voss and 2 death penalty experts have joined the defense for the captain of the 25-foot vessel. The former regional director of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, Asha Natif Tribble, and the former president of the Cobra Acquisitions Company, Donald Keith Ellison, pled guilty to federal charges of bribery related to the granting of contracts for the reconstruction of the electrical network of Puerto Rico after the devastation of Hurricane Maria in September of 2017. A third defendant, Hovanda Patterson, a former FEMA Deputy Chief of Staff, pled guilty in 2020. May 19th, the former Director of the Public Works Office of the Municipality of Guayama, Ramon Conde Melendez, waived his right to be indicted and pled guilty at the federal level to charges of conspiracy to defraud the United States government and bribery in connection with programs paid for by federal funds during a hearing held last Thursday. The city's former Director of Public Works pled guilty to conspiracy to defraud the United States government, bribery, or kickbacks in connection with federally funded programs. The former mayor of Guayama, Eduardo Cintron Suarez, pled guilty on April 8 in connection with the scheme for the asphalt and resurfacing of roads in the municipality. Ramon Conde Melendez faces a maximum sentence of up to 5 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. May 23rd, Judge Rebecca Vera Rios found cause for the arrest of former Representative Ramon Luis Rodriguez Ruiz for 2 charges filed against him for violations of domestic violence and abuse of a minor child. The events occurred around 6 a.m. when Rodriguez Ruiz allegedly arrived home drunk and started an argument with his partner. He was reported to have pushed the woman against the dresser, assaulting her. When the daughter intervened, she was also violently pushed. Rodriguez Ruiz was expelled from the House of Representatives in February 2018 for allegedly assaulting Soniel Torres Suarez, director of his office. In November 2021, the former legislator pled guilty to breach of duty. Guayama court has set bail at $10,000. May 25th. The House of Representatives approved with 27 votes in favor a project that proposes to consult the citizens through a referendum on whether or not the personal consumption of marijuana should be decriminalized. Decriminalization means that a user caught in the possession of no more than 14 grams of marijuana would not face criminal charges and would face an administrative fine. May 23rd, Puerto Rican singer Ricky Martin will participate in an Apple TV Plus series titled Mrs. American Pie in the main male role, as confirmed by himself on his Twitter account and his representative office in Puerto Rico. Ricky Martin will play Robert and is the latest to be added to a cast list that includes Kristen Wiig and Laura Dern. Wiig stars as Maxine Simmons, a recently divorced former beauty queen trying to break into the exclusive society of Palm Beach, South Florida in the late 1960s. Thanks for watching. Here's your weather for the week for the north side of the island. Follow us on Facebook for up-to-date news, weather, entertainment, earthquakes, travel, Puerto Rico information, and more. Search Puerto Rico English News or follow the link in the description. Thank you for subscribing. Have an amazing week.